Hello, I'm Jordan Midler, and welcome to Restart, a show about video games. This week, specifically, video game reviews. Video game reviews are almost as old as video games themselves. For the longest time, it was a pretty simple process. Companies would give magazines or websites games early in exchange for holding reviews till an agreed date. This is what's known as a review embargo, and it was the basis of the video game journalism industry for the longest time. That was until recently. Now more than ever, games are releasing in earlier and earlier stages of development. The proposition of early access to a game at a lower cost for the price of unreliability has made massive stars of games like Minecraft, Ark, and many others. On the other side, a shift to live games means that a game's content is rarely the same as what players that get into the game 6 months later will end up playing. So it makes me wonder, as a reviewer, allegedly, when I can review these games and when as a culture we should consider them out. Now you may have noticed through the subtle allusions in this video that the game that made me think about this the most is the sound of the summer, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG for short if you're a normal person, or Plunkbat if you're not a normal person, is a third-person survival battle royale shooter that has taken the industry by storm this year and has likely irrevocably doomed its own genre with saturation. 100 players drop onto an island and feverishly fight to be the best at hiding in a house and shooting people with a shotgun. It's so popular in fact that it's surpassed 1 million concurrent players on Steam, it's had tournaments, it's even selling loot boxes. All this and it's not even out. Because despite its landslide of success, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds remains in early access, Steam's programme for allowing the release of games in various states of incompletion. And while it's far more of a game than a lot of the stuff that gets funneled onto the platform, the game is still in a state of development with no firm release date, only the nebulous Q4 2017. So what's stopping me from reviewing it? See, the thing is, my personal policy has always been that I'll only review something when I have the final published game available to me. It's the same reason why I wouldn't review FIFA on EA Access, because it's kind of the same thing. I'm recommending, and it would be a recommendation, something that's in development and could change in a few months, and that just doesn't seem right. But does that matter anymore? Bluepoint have already said that the game's price will be the same when it leaves early access, so what's the differentiating factor between it and something like Destiny 2, a game that I reviewed and loved, but also that game's in a state of flux. While technically it's not in active development, already there's been new elements added to the game that weren't there at launch, and as often the case with live games, the amount of content is only going to increase and change as the lifespan of the game proceeds. It brings up an interesting case for re-reviewing games, or rather, reviews later in a game's lifespan to give updated impressions of the game as it stands. Using the original Destiny as an example, I thought the initial release was garbage, disappointing, boring mess of a game that gave me no reason to do missions that were as tedious as counting to infinity million anyway. But for whatever reason I went back to Destiny when the complete collection for all the DLC had been released for £20 and had a brilliant time. So good of a time in fact that I was actually excited for Destiny 2 and it turned out to be one of my favourite games this year. I mean, I've been playing Minecraft since before Notch was a Nazi, and that was a long time ago. But if I had reviewed Minecraft when I first played it, it would look nothing like a review for the current game as it stands, because games today change. That's just a reality that we have to deal with. So I suppose the answer now is that there's no hard line where games become reviewable, so long as it's not in a beta or a demo specifically designed by the developer to be a free thing to give players a taste, to get feedback. I don't really see why PUBG should be exempt, or for that matter why it can't be considered a game of the year. So I'll do it now. PUBG is very fun with friends, but alone it's a bit boring and takes too long to load. Oh, you want more? Well, fine. At some point. When it's out. But for now, go away. Well, first, subscribe and tell me when you think a game should become reviewable, then go away.